Okay, so this video will be me showing you how to work with the Tadelakt, including working with the stone, the different steps and the substrates. So this is a surface that has been prepared to do Tadelakt. It's actual Tadelakt and it's dry, totally dry, and we're going to put 2 layers on top, and I will show you how to do it. Let's get going. Okay, so first day we did the first coat. Second day would be today. We're doing the second and third coat. Okay, so we're gonna start with the second coat. So I apply using the flexible trowel. Try to work an even layer. You can always listen to hear when you have the correct thickness. And what I like to do at this stage is put the trowel flat and make some marks. Make some marks so it will be visible in the last layer. Just a little bit. And now we have some waiting time for it to dry so we can apply the third and last coat. I'm looking for some light spots, and you can see now it's still wet, it's glimmering, and that's too early. We want the surface to look matte but not completely dry. It should be matte with some light parts showing that it's starting to dry. That's when it's time for the last and third coat. We'll get back to that soon. Okay, so now it's time for the third coat. We can clearly see that it's not wet anymore and it has some lighter spots. It's perfect time for the third and last coat. At this point I don't need to use much material. I just take a little bit because we're going to scrape it on really. So I use 2 hands normally. Apply pressure and a steeper angle of the trowel. You can see I'm using very little material. Removing the excess. And now I just flatten it and make it really smooth. I don't have any more material on the trowel. I just want it to be really flat, and I'm closing all the pores. So it's a good idea if you have a big wall, it's a good idea to have one team applying and one team just going and burnishing the surface. So now we wait a little bit, and I will burnish a little bit more when it gets a little bit more dry, and after that we're going to work with the stone. Okay, so the surface has been drying for a little bit, and now I just burnish a little bit more with the same trowel. No material on top now. You can clearly see it's getting dark where I'm pressing. Darkness equals shine. And I move from different directions. When we're happy with the shine and the pattern, we can go on. It's important at this stage not to overwork. Overworking a surface, you will see some bubbles coming up, and if you continue to work, you can destroy the surface. So as soon as you see a bubble, you can just move on, and then you can get back to that spot again in a while. So now we wait for when to start to do the stone. So now the surface has dried a bit. It's starting to get a lot of lighter surfaces, a lot of lighter spots and darker spots, which is the difference between humid areas and drier areas. This is the good time to start using the stone. And what we want to do is to listen. You want to hear that sound of the stone sliding across the surface like this. And you want to change your direction every now and then. And you start with a light pressure and then increasingly a bit more pressure. At this point you will see the shine starts to appear. And like that you cover the whole surface. You can clearly see how it's getting shinier. So you want this really nice sliding noise, and also if you look at the stone, there should be no cream. If you get starting to get cream around the stone, it means the Tadelakt is too wet. If you hear scratching noises, then the Tadelakt is too dry. If it's too dry, you can always add some Marseille soap. You can mix Marseille soap with water and spray it a little bit, and then you can use the stone. That will help the stone slide over the surface. Working with Tadelakt, it's all about timing. So it's good to have a good crew of people who can start different moments of work at different times. There we go.